Yo, nigga, is this what it is? And I'm your host, Gunman. Over here, fucking got a cold and shit, nigga. Fuck, bro. Whatever. Alright, so let's go. Let's talk about the Knicks. Alright, so here's what I think we need to win a championship. Right? In 2 years, we can win a championship if the Knicks do this. Alright, so the Knicks are going to have to trade for Kevin Durant without losing Brunson or Towns. So if we could have Towns, Durant, and Brunson on the team with Steve Kerr coaching, I think that would be the Knicks' best chance of winning a championship. You know? Think about it. If we have Kevin Durant and Brunson, we're going to have two players that can legitimately not only make clutch shots, but they can make game-winning shots. So you're going to have, you know, you're going to make it very difficult for other teams to defend you in a game-winning shot situation. Because, like, right, say they pass to Durant, who's going to be the number one option in that scenario. He could find Brunson for open three easily. And then the same with Brunson. Say Brunson got the ball, and, you know, he's like he's going to make the final shot. And then he passes to Durant. So, like, there's a lot of reasons why I think the Knicks could win with that team, but it's like, you know, the Knicks are just they're gonna have to make that trade happen or whatever. I don't know if Kevin Durant's becoming a free agent, but they're gonna either have to sign him or trade for him, because I think that's their best chance. And if you think about Kevin Durant, right? First off, if he retires today, he's the first ballot Hall of Famer and all that. You know, he's accomplished great things in the NBA. But I think for himself, I think he wants to win a championship without the Warriors, because that's really the only thing, like, people say negatively about him, that he had to join Golden State to win a championship after they won against his team in the playoffs. So I think Kevin Durant, he wants to be in that top 5 greatest players of all time discussion, at least. If he doesn't make it to the list, I think he at least wants to be in the discussion. And I think that he knows that he's going to have to win again without the Warriors. So that's why I think he, like, declined it when the Warriors were trying to sign him or whatever, because say he goes back and he wins another championship with Curry, that would just prove that he needed Curry and the Warriors to win, because he went to the Warriors to win a championship, and then he left, and then he couldn't win without them. So now if he goes back and he wins one with them, it's not really going to do much for his legacy in the eyes of most fans. Sure, he's going to get props from some fans, but I think most fans will be like, yo, can't win without Curry. And if he goes to the Knicks and wins, they haven't won in many years, so I think that's his best chance of putting himself in the discussion more of being a top 5 all-time player. Because if you pay attention, he's not really in those discussions. Yeah, maybe offensively, but like overall in his career, people, I think they got Durant in like the top 20 maybe, or 25, but you know, I'm hearing them mention Stephen Curry a lot more in the top 5 greatest players of all time. They mention him more than Kevin Durant. And I think Kevin Durant probably hears that and he's like, bro, I'm better than Curry. Like, overall, he's probably better defensively. And I think he has more Olympic gold medals. So, I don't know. But it is an interesting topic. Who do you think is better all time? Stephen Curry or Kevin Durant? Because I think if we did a vote right now, I think like 68% of the people would say Stephen Curry is greater all time than Kevin Durant. So comment below, who do you think is better as a player? Because I think that's a good discussion. And it is... Look, you can make an argument for both of them as far as why one player is greater. Because overall, offensively, I think Kevin Durant is better than Curry. If we think about it. And me personally, I think Kevin Durant is greater than Curry, like all time, because... Alright, whatever. People are going to talk about the championships. But I'm talking about as an overall basketball player. I don't think Kevin Durant has ever been the best defensive player, but I believe he's much better than Curry. So I think we can safely say Kevin Durant is better defensively than Stephen Curry. Alright, so he got that, right? So now we go to the offensive side of the basketball. All right. We got to say Curry is a better three-point shooter, right? Cool. I think we can all agree on that. So Curry's better with the threes, but I think Kevin Durant is much better with the mid-range shots, right? So boom, you got Durant better in the mid range, and then I think Kevin Durant's better in the post. So that's 2 elements of offensive play that he's better than Curry in. And then Kevin Durant, although he's not as great as Curry, he's a great 3-point shooter as well. I'd say Curry is probably like 3 levels above him if we're talking about threes. So basically, the only thing Stephen Curry is better than Durant at is making 3-pointers. And even then, Durant, he got mad points. I think he has probably more points than Curry in his career. If not, they're probably close. So with that being said, overall, even with Curry having more rings, I think overall, Kevin Durant is a greater player than Stephen Curry. And a lot of people will probably disagree, but hey, I gave my reasons why I think what I think, so you can comment below what you think. And you could argue, okay, all right, Stephen Curry, like, Curry changed the game more. But, like, that's not really as important when you're talking about who's greater overall as a basketball player. Like, I'm talking about their abilities. I'm not talking about who changed the game. Because, if anything, he changed the game for the worst. And that's not disrespecting Curry. You know, I'll call him the greatest three-point shooter of all time. But you want to talk about changing the game. Now you got players that fucking can't really make the threes. Chucking up threes instead of taking the smart shot, you know. Sometimes, like, they'll need a game winner and they're going for a fucking three-pointer when they needed two. So, arguably, he changed the game for the worse. So yeah, let me know what you think. I got this joint rolled. I'm gonna go to the park, get some fresh air, and just chill out today. So if you appreciated this episode, hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. This is This What It Is? And I'm your host, Gunman.